He's a pastor too, so I won't put it to the Adeboje. Pastor Tunji Adebojo. Thank you. Blessed are thee among women. So I want to say let's have a drum roll. Welcome. You have the floor, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. For me, I'm so excited to be here. I greet everyone here that has joined in: Adenike, Florence, Jumoke, Mama Z, Lashile, Omosheye. Thank you all for being a part of this session tonight. I'm not taking this for granted at all. Thank you for the honor, for the privilege of giving me this opportunity to be here with you this very moment. Please just confirm to me in the chat if you can hear me audibly. Just let me know if you are able to hear me audibly right now in the chat box so that I'm aware that you are hearing me. Oh, okay, thank you so much for that. I can see. Okay, perfectly. That's good. Thank you for confirming that to me. All right, so I'll be going straight into the session tonight. I've been asked to speak on leading with emotional intelligence. Leading with emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is one critical thing that we have to deal with, especially in our generation right now, and even at this time and season. And it relates well to leaders all over the world and in different places. I think about a week ago, I was still sharing this with some people about this exact topic, and I mean, it was so amazing. People came with different questions, and really, it was good. So when we talk about leading with emotional intelligence, leadership is not just about IQ. Leadership is about EQ. EQ, of course, that's emotional intelligence, basically. Today's world doesn't just reward smart leaders. Today's world doesn't just reward smart leaders. It rewards emotionally smart leaders. Listen to that again. Today's world doesn't just reward smart leaders. So it's not enough to be a smart leader. You must be an emotionally smart leader. So the world today rewards emotionally smart leaders. Your ability to lead yourself depends largely on how far you have been able to develop yourself. So your ability to lead yourself and others depends largely on how well you manage your emotions. Not only your emotion, but that of others. So I'll repeat that again. Your ability to lead yourself and others depends on how well you manage emotions, both your emotions and that of others. And emotional intelligence is the real game changer in leadership. It was John C. Maxwell who said that the hardest person to lead is yourself. The hardest person to lead is yourself. The most difficult person to lead is yourself. If you are able to lead yourself effectively, you easily lead other people. Unfortunately, today, many are willing to lead other people, but they are not willing to lead themselves. And if you are not able to lead yourself effectively, you are going to become a failure in leading other people. So therefore, that's why we see today, we see many failed leadership. Why? Because many people have failed to lead themselves effectively. So I'll start by trying to give a brief definition of what emotional intelligence is. What is emotional intelligence? Is the ability to recognize, to understand, and to manage your own emotion and influence the emotions of others. I'll repeat that again. What is emotional intelligence? Is the ability to recognize, to understand, and to manage. Those are three different things. Recognizing your emotions, understanding your emotion, and managing your emotions, and the ability to influence the emotions of other people. So you see that starts with you. You know, success starts from within. Success starts from within. First within, then without. So you can't actually succeed without first succeeding within, because success grows from the inside of you. Success starts with you. Success starts within you, then it begins to show itself outside. So emotional intelligence includes self-awareness. Those are the 3 or 4 major parts of emotional intelligence, just about 3 of them. It includes self-awareness, self-management, and relationship management. 3 things. Self-awareness, understanding yourself, knowing who you are, knowing your weaknesses, knowing your strength, knowing the threats that is around you, and knowing the opportunities around yourself. And then self-management, ability to be able to manage yourself effectively, both in your career, in your workplace, in your ministry, in your business, in your family, most especially in your family, and in other areas of your leadership. So if you are in a business, or you are a career person in your workplace, you must be able to manage both your boss, both your colleagues, and the ability to manage those who are coming behind you. So it's a 3 triangle format. You must, because in leadership, you lead above, you lead below, and you lead across. The one above are the leaders above you. The one across are your colleagues. The one below are those who are following you. So your ability to be able to self-manage these activities around you gives you a high level of emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence is about self-awareness, about self-management, is about relationship management. You know, many people are having challenges in different areas of their life today because they do not have relational management. You know, your ability to relate effectively, knowing fully well that people are your greatest asset. Some people today, they have lost quality relationship because they do not know how to manage the relationship that has been given to them per time. So you must understand that every relationship that you are brought into or you have encounter with has a particular thing to do in your life. So if you are not able to manage such relationship, you are not going to be able to achieve the success that you so desire. And you must understand that there are certain relationships that is coming your way right now and is going to be useful for you in the next few years of your life. If you're not able to manage that relationship very well, then you are creating a major problem and you are bringing up a disadvantage for you in the near future. So emotional intelligence is about relationship management. People will forget what you have said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. People will forget what you have said. People forget what you have said, but they will never forget how you make them feel. How you make people feel is what relationship management is about. So the second thing I'm going to delve with right now is I'm going to go into the pillars, because there are about 5 pillars of emotional intelligence, 5 basic pillars of emotional intelligence. The first one, the very first one is self-awareness. Self-awareness. Self-awareness, what does this mean? This talks about understanding your emotion, understanding your emotions. That's the first thing. You know, the other day I was having a conversation with somebody and they were having 1 or 2 challenges in their relationship. And I said to one of the party, I said, have you read this book, Why You Act the Way You Do? He said, I've not come across it before. I said, you need to find that book, both of you. You buy a copy, let him also buy a copy. Read this book differently and come together to come and share. You know, by the time the lady got the book, ordered it from Rovin's Heights, and started reading, the first message I received from her is, sir, she said, I just noticed that I have been wrong. I have been wrong all along. I've been wrong just by reading a chapter of that book. Are you aware of yourself? Do you understand yourself? Do you know who you are? Do you know your temperament? Do you know your character traits? Do you know your behaviors? Do you know the things you like? Do you know the things you do not like? You know, the people around you, do they understand you? You yourself, do you understand yourself? That's what self-awareness means. That's what understanding your own emotions. Do you know what makes you angry? Do you know what makes you happy? Do you know your dislike? Do you know the things you like? You know, so ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? You know, do you know your strengths? Do you know your weaknesses? Do you know your triggers? Do you know the things that trigger you, that triggers both joy, that triggers both anger? That's what self-awareness is about. Do you know why you feel the way you feel? Do you know why you act the way you act? How is this affecting your leadership as a woman? How is this affecting the people around you? How is this affecting the relationship that you have currently? You know, because some people, they have not been able to manage their relationship well because they do not even understand themselves. They do not even understand their emotions. So ask yourself this basic question. If you need to write something down, journal your emotions, your reactions daily, and that helps you to increase your self-awareness. Find some of this book and read Why You Act the Way You Do or Spirit Control Temperament by Tim LaHaye. Read that book. There's a book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Very powerful, instructive book. Read some of these books and it will help you to understand who you are. The second pillar is what I call self-regulation. Self-regulation. What does this mean? It means how to control your emotional reactions. Do you know that it's not everything that happens around you or within or in the space where you operate that you need to react to? There are certain things that you are not supposed to react to. Do you think before you act? Self-regulation talks about thinking before you act. Self-regulation talks about staying calm in the place of pressure. When you are under pressure, do you stay calm? So the ability to self-regulate yourself, not reacting to every situation that happens, especially in the world that we are in today. I don't want to use Nigeria as an example. In the world that we are in today, people get angry easily. So many things are getting people off the peak. So many things are happening around everywhere, and you don't know what triggers people. So you must be able to regulate your emotions very well so that you do things accordingly. You must think before you act. You must look at every situation effectively before you take action on those things. You must take a deep breath and pause for at least 10 seconds before responding to tense moments. There are moments that will come. There are things. I was speaking to a lady recently, and she got a job with an organization. And while she started working in the place, she was, the role that was given to her, she already knows her role. And suddenly her boss just said, you need to sweep this place today. And she was just wondering that, that's not my role. You know, they have a cleaner. They have a cleaner in the office, but the boss said you need to clean. Happened to realize that the boss happens to be somebody who is autocratic in nature, who has no regard for women. You know, so how do you respond to things like that? This is a new job. And she spoke to me and said, calm down. Just calm down. So you must stay calm under pressure. That's what self-regulation is about. Number 3 is motivation. Pillars of emotional intelligence is motivation. What is motivation? The inner drive that drives you. What motivates you? What keeps you going? That drive matters more than external rewards. Emotional leaders, they are people that inspire themselves and they inspire others. That's motivation. Inspiring yourself and inspiring others, even when results are slow, even when results are not coming. Are you able to motivate yourself? I remember when I newly moved into the UK, I didn't understand the system. I didn't understand how things were working. I was doing a little bit well in Nigeria. I found myself in a country where I didn't understand the model, the system, as things was going here. I came in as a student and I saw that life was like almost upside down. What I was doing back in Nigeria, I found myself, I'm not able to do them. Here, the system is entirely different. I had to motivate myself. I had to motivate myself. In fact, if I didn't motivate myself, I would have been back in Nigeria for a long time, But in the space of challenges, in the face of challenges, in the face of chaos and uncertain situations, are you able to stay motivated? So you must be ready to set personal goals which are tied to your values, so that you are able to find yourself in a space of being motivated at all time. Number 4 pillar of emotional intelligence, this one is very important, is empathy. Empathy. Do you feel what other people feel? Do you feel the pain of other people? Do you also feel the joys of other people? Do you listen deeply to other people? Not just with your ears, but with your heart. Listening with your ears is different from listening with your heart. Are you able to show and to display empathy to other people? If you are in a meeting, are you able to listen 70% of the time and talk 30% of the time? Have you come to ask yourself why God gave us 2 ears and He gave us 1 mouth? Because God wanted us to listen more and speak once. He wants us to listen twice and speak once. He wants our speaking level to be lower than our hearing level. So He wants us to hear more. Have you thought about it? If God can give 2 eyes, and He gave 2 noses here, He gave 2 ears here, He gave 2 arms, He gave 2 legs, then God can give 2 mouths. If He can do all of that, then He can give 2 mouths. But why did He give 1? He wants you to speak less. So in every situation you find yourself, your talk must be 30% and your listening mode must be 70%. You must listen more and you must listen with the heart. So you must be able to feel the perception and the challenges of other people. Some people, they lack empathy. One of the things I've discovered in the country where I live in is you must be somebody who has empathy for others, who genuinely love other people, who show concern, who show when people are in pain, you show empathy to them. When people are joyous, there are some people, no matter the kind of joy around you, they are not happy. So you must be an empathetic leader. People do not care. They don't care how much you know, but they want to know how much you care. People don't care how much you know, but they want to know how much you care. Caring for people, caring for other people around you is one of the critical values that every leader must develop. You want to move from one level of leadership to another level of leadership, you must be an empathetic leader. You must care for people. You must show concern to them. You must show to them that you genuinely love them, and you must care about what they care about. I must let you know, people are going through stuff. Somebody right beside you may not talk, but that person is going through a lot of things. Until you are able to commune and show how empathetic you are, that shows the level of how emotionally intelligent you are. And that's very important. The 5th pillar, I call this one social skill, which is your relationship management. Social skill, which is your relationship management. Are you able to build trust? Are you able to resolve conflicts? Are you able to inspire your team? Are you able to build trust in the people around you? Do people trust you? Are you a trustworthy leader? Are you somebody who has integrity? If there is a lack of integrity in your leadership, you have lost it all. because leadership is trust is the bedrock of leadership. A leader's success is tied to how well they manage relationship. A leader's success rather, is tied to how well they manage relationship. You must learn to praise people publicly and correct people privately. You must learn to praise people publicly and correct people privately. This is very, very important. The third thing I'm going to talk about, so of course I've shared with you the 5 pillars of emotional intelligence. The first one is self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. You must build your capacity to relate well with people. You must build a strong connections with people. You must understand that people are your greatest asset. Do you know that as you move into the next phase of your life and the next phase of your journey, you need certain people. All the time, you need 4 people per time to move to the next phase of your life. There are some people and some connections that you need today. You just need 4 steps that will move you into that space, and that's very, very critical. The third thing is, why is emotional intelligence, why does it matter, especially for leaders? Whether you are in business, you are in your career, you are in ministry, whichever field that you find yourself, why is emotional intelligence, why does it matter to leaders? Why does it matter to leaders? Number 1, technical skills may get you into the room, but emotional intelligence and emotional skills will keep you at the table. Your skill, your talent, your potential, your grace, your whatever, whether you call it even favor, can get you into the room. But what keeps you there is your emotional skills and your character, your emotional skills. There are people today who are having a lot of following, not because they know everything, but because they know how to relate and they know how to manage the relationship they have. When I was teaching some people on emotional intelligence, like about a week ago, I used somebody, and permit me to use that person as an example. I'm a member of the Redeemed Church of God, and I've been studying our father, Pastor Adeboye, for many years. Do you know that he's been keeping one driver for over 35 years as a pastor? He's been keeping just one driver. The wife also kept one driver. The 2 guys who have been driving them have been driving them for 35 years. I know some pastors that in the last 5 years, they have kept more than 5 drivers. They employ one, within 2 months, they've sacked that one, they employ another one, and you now see that one driver is driving this person, he has driven that person before. He's driving this person, he has driven that person before. You now see an exchange of drivers. When you now see gathering of drivers, when you see them together, all these drivers, when they sit together, they begin to talk about their bosses. You know why? People lack emotional intelligence. People lack relational management. People do not know how to manage people. How was he able to manage one driver, one person driving in for over 30 years? Does that mean that they have not offended one another? Does that mean there's no time that person has misbehaved, or that person also feel uncomfortable with him? I remember